Hello, my beautiful, beloved beings. I just did a whole video that didn't record. So here I am, doing it over. So I come to you today because I want to show you what my cancer journey looks like. How I'm doing and what I'm going through and what I'm about to go through and what's going on with me. This is what my journey looks like. I had my MRI yesterday, my second one, and I am the tumor in my brain has reduced a bit. I don't know if it's enough to continue this current therapy regime. I talked to my radiologist on Monday, and we will plot out the next course of action. I wanted you to see me the way I am. I just sat down. I didn't do anything. I just, this is just the way I am. This is my, what I look like during the day. Every morning, I do my best to get up, make my bed, get dressed, and then go out into the living room for whatever my day is going to be. Whether it's if I have appointments, if I'm getting ready for a show, if I don't have anything that I need to do, or I need to do some things online, I need some phone calls I need to make. I have appointments sometimes on phone or the video chat. They have a specific chat room they use. So this is my current journey. I came from that journey where I was feeling ill for a while. And then I started to be really sick last year, the end of 2023, from October, November, I felt sick. And finally, I got to the hospital. Angela basically made me go. She put me in the car and took me. With the help of her family, they got me into the car and to the hospital. At the hospital, they took me right in. Whatever tests they did, whatever blood tests and x-rays they did right away, they knew that I had cancer, and they knew the extent of it. They knew that I had breast cancer, and it had metastasized to my spine and pelvis. Now, I didn't believe them. I argued with them. So then I went to, they said I wasn't an ICU patient, but they put me in ICU anyway. At that time, I was in a great deal of pain, and the reason I had gone to the hospital was because I thought that I was in heart failure. And they thought I was in heart failure at first, until they found the cancer. And the cancer in my back was what was preventing me from walking. Now, the palliative care team came in, and they said, she's in all this pain. We're going to take her pain away enough that she can function. Because I couldn't even hardly speak a coherent sentence because I had so much pain. I couldn't function in any capacity. The pain occupied my thoughts all the time, 24/7. So they gave me pain medication and knocked me out, accidentally. And it took about a week and a half, 2 weeks, for them to figure out the right dosage for me to be coherent. And that happened. So one day, after I'd been in the hospital for a while, I was awake and coherent, and I could tell them my name. I could tell them where I was. I could tell them what year it was. So So that was sometime at the end of December. I think I had missed Christmas, but it was before New Year's. Now, I know who I am and where I am. I know I have cancer, and I have accepted it, and I have let them know I'm going to do everything I can to fight and get out of the hospital. So they didn't think I was going to get out of the hospital. So at a point, I moved out of the ICU, and they had a bed for me on a floor that could take me, and that was interesting. Anyway, during this time, I had a conduit or a hallway that my guides had set up so that I could see my pets. My pets, as you know, pets can travel, do astral travel way easier than we can. So my pets would come and be with me and play with me and evidently cause a little havoc on the floor. So I could see that. I could see that hallway that they came down in my room. And even after I moved, it was in a different place, but I still had that hallway. Then I started to be able to sit up. So I was working on that. Then I started to work on, they sent some PT people to me, and the physical therapy people helped me get up. So they helped me sit up, they helped me get up, they helped me take the steps, even though it was only, 10 steps to the bathroom, to use the restroom. They finally were able to get me well enough, strong enough, that I could get up. Because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't turn over. I couldn't do anything. I couldn't raise myself up in the bed. They'd say, "Can you scoot up?" And I couldn't. So they'd have to help me scoot up in the bed. And I could not lie down flat. I slept sitting up, and I gradually got to where it reclined enough that I was close to lying flat, close enough that the tests I needed to do where I had to lie flat, and they were so painful that I could do those. I'd have to request my pain medication either right before or right after these tests, but I could do them. And I'm sorry that keeps making noise. It's the hospital sending me emails. That's part of my journey, is that the hospital contacts me constantly. I have phone calls from the hospital. I have texts from the hospital every day for something. They are taking care of me. They are really, really taking care of me. So I got where I could walk a few steps. And then I got where I could walk around my room. And then I got where I could walk around my room a few times. So then we tackled, I was going to Angela's house because I couldn't climb all the stairs to get up to my apartment. Could I climb 3 steps? So I got where I could climb 3 steps, and I was released. Now, when I was released, my partner, Lupe, took me home, took me to Angela's. He picked me up and took me to Angela's. And the excitement of the day and the trip home drained me to the point where I couldn't climb the steps. So I got up 2 steps and I couldn't get up the 3rd step. I collapsed and I couldn't do it. So I had my partner and Angela just push me into the house. And I laid there. I more or less just passed out there. Now, I was there for a while. I was there. Now, my partner went home because he didn't know that I wasn't going to be able to get to my bed. No, but yeah, he didn't know. He just wasn't told, and he didn't realize I was going to be there on the floor all night. So I was there on the floor all night because I was so exhausted, and I just couldn't get up. Now, I think Angela woke me up to take my medications. She, I can't be sure, but I believe she did. But anyway, I slept, and Monkey was there, so Monkey stayed with me. I slept there on the floor. She made me as comfortable as she could. She got me onto a blanket, kind of rolled me onto a blanket, and covered me up. And I was there. I slept for, now you'd have to ask Angela and maybe Devaria that she was aware of what was going on, that from about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, the day I got out of the hospital, until like 1 or 1:30 the next day. And I woke up and I was on the floor. I knew I was on the floor. I was coherent. My body just was, and I still couldn't get up. I was too weak to get up. If I was not on the floor, I had enough, I could ambulate, but I could not get off the floor. And so the paramedics were called, and they came in, and the head paramedic questioned me because there was a very good chance he was going to take me back to the hospital. So he said, did I know who I was, what day it was, who was the president, basic questions to find out if a person's coherent. And I was coherent, and I knew how long I'd been there. He said, what was it he said? He said, you just got home today. And I said, no. This was the trick question. You just got home today. And I said, no, I got home yesterday, and I got inside, but I couldn't climb the last step, and I collapsed into the floor, and I've been here since yesterday. Now, if I had not answered those questions the way he wanted them answered, he was going to send me back to the hospital. But I convinced them that I was fine, I just couldn't get off the floor. That if I could get off the floor, I could ambulate. That I could use the walker that I had there. Loopy had bought me a walker. And I could use it to get to the bedroom, and could get in bed. I could get in and out of bed by myself. I just couldn't get off the floor. And so 3 of them got me up, pulled me and got me up off the floor and onto that walker, and they took me to bed. And I got up. I stood up, which was another thing I had to do for the EMT not to take me back to the hospital, is that I stood up and I swiveled myself onto the bed and sat there upright. If I had not been able to do that, he was going to take me to the hospital. So I did everything right, and they agreed to leave me there in Angela's care, and Angela took care of me for some time. And then it came time for me to... Excuse me. Well, that was part of my journey right there. I had a phone call that I had to take. Was finalizing my final arrangements. Now, what I wanted to tell you, though, after I got home, I was able to make faster progress because I had my own things. I had my monkey, of course, and my cat. My partner is wonderful, doing everything that I need help with, picking up my prescriptions, taking me if I want to go out, whatever it is. He now I order all of the things that I need and want. So basically, all he has to do is just make sure that I'm comfortable and that I have the things that I want to do and need to do and that kind of thing, and he accommodates me the best that he can. But it's a lot. It's a lot, and the fact that he stayed with me and didn't leave when I got sick is a lot. And I'm grateful. My gratitude starts there, that after the gratitude I have that I have life, the second most grateful thing I have is my partner staying with me and helping me with this fight and not leaving me to fight alone. Now, I wanted to show you what my journey looks like, my cancer journey. When I did this video a few minutes ago, I had cards. I think I'm going to do different cards. Those were good cards, but it was a fresh reading, and I want to do a fresh reading. I want to know what my journey looks like from this point to the end of my journey. What does my journey look like? Sorry about monkey. From now until then, and what do I need to know? What do I need to concentrate on as I go through the rest of my path? And because I still have things to do. So I'm not leaving anytime soon. I'm just making sure everything's in order so that when the time does come, that it'll be less of a burden. Now, I have worked in that field. I worked at the cemetery for a while, and I enjoyed it. It was quiet. I enjoyed the park. That's what we called it, the park. It was a beautiful place, and so I know something about taking care of arrangements. Now, let's find out what Spirit has to say to me about my journey, or to tell you about my journey. Wow. First two cards are the same. Second one's different. Or the third one's different. The fact that some of these cards are the same shows you just how much. Let me tell you about the deck I'm using. It's the Grateful Dead deck. And I got this deck because I enjoyed some of their music, and I always liked the artwork they used. It was just a deck I connected with online that I thought I would enjoy, and I have enjoyed it. Let me share with you. The first card I get is the Knight of Roses, which is Cups. That's the Knight of Cups. Now, to me, this Knight looks like she's going away from the water instead of toward it, which is interesting. That's an interesting depiction of the Knight of Cups. So this is how it starts. The Knight of Cups. creativity. She's got her knife there in case she needs it, but she may use that more for gathering things than protection. She is moving forward, but she seems to be moving in the wrong direction. That's me sometimes. I do move in the wrong direction. She's crossed by the 4. Now, this is important because I had this in the last reading. These first 2 cards are the first 2 cards I had in the last reading. So this 4 is important. This 4 of Cups. That offer. The offer of the opportunity to move on. I believe I've had that offer extended to me, particularly while I was in the hospital. I'm not ready to accept that offer. It's not time. I still have things to do. Now, I do feel I've been released from some of them. Some of the ancestral healing and that kind of thing. And I have another video I want to make that talking about that it's our time now to rest for a bit, all of us. But that's for another video. Now, at the base of my reading, I have the Attic. The Attic is the Hermit in this deck. The Hermit contemplating the things ahead. Contemplating what's going on. How to navigate what's going on. Now, this is crowning my reading. That's the 3 of Bears. That is the 3 of Pentacles. The card where you're surrounded, in this deck, surrounded by those who love you and care for you and collaborate with you. So this is the collaboration card. That is what I have. So I have, at the base of my reading, I have this Hermit, this Knight, this creative, inspirational, emotional, watery Knight. I have her. And crowning, I have this 3 of Pentacles, or 3 of Bears, and that is those being surrounded by those who care for me. So that's what that line, it tells me. In the near past, I have the 8 of Skulls. That's the 8 of Swords. Now, I have been bound up in my head about some things. I have been. I feel like I'm clearer now. But I have been in that place where I needed to get out of my head. In the near future, I have the 5 of Wands, or the 5 of Bolts. Now, I will tell you that it is a struggle. I have a struggle. I struggle every day. And so that line goes, I've been in my head. I've had this offer. And I have the struggle. I chose the struggle. I did choose the struggle. Many of those I have known that have my kind of cancer are not here with us today. They did not choose the struggle. I chose the struggle. Around me, I have the Lovers. So I do have my partner with me. I'm grateful for him. I do have friends and associates that care for me, that I am grateful for, and that I am happy every time they communicate with me in some way. And I'm especially love Devaria and Gerald. I get to see Gerald and Miss Tarot D. Miss Tarot D, I get to see on the weekends. Sometimes we have chats. And Gerald I chat with all the time on the phone or with Zoom or I do shows with him. And Deveria, I just see. She lives near me, and I see her, and I talk to her on the phone, and we text constantly. So those are my 3 closest friends at the moment. I'll make sure I'm not leaving anybody out, but those I have the Lover's card around me. Excuse me. Monkey. Come here. What are you doing? What is it? Okay. You told me. That's enough. All right. Now, the outside. What is everybody around me? Monkey, that's enough. No. 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 Okay, it's enough. No. No. It's enough. This card. It's the Terrapin of Bolts, or the Ace of Wands. I have been given this gift. This is a gift. I've been given the gift in order to pass on to you the experience that I'm having, and also to magnify my own gifts. It magnifies my own gifts in a way that I had not thought that I would achieve. The hopes and fears is the 10 of roses, or the 10 of cups. The happy family card. That's the hopes and fears. So there really is no fear. I don't have fear. My final outcome is the 2 of skulls, or the 2 of swords. So that means that I have the final decision. That I need to go into that final decision when I choose to take this opportunity, and not before. When I choose. That's why that card's so important. It's when I choose. And I do not choose right now. So there's nothing to worry about. Even though I don't look so well today. I don't feel so well today. And it'll get worse because I'm going to start my medication back tomorrow. I wanted to tell you the general energy surrounding this reading is the King of Roses, or the King of Cups. So that's a wise man with a handle on his emotions. He's creative. He understands. He's sensitive. So that is the general energy around my reading. I wanted to come to you today and do this short reading. I don't know how long I've been talking because I had that phone call, but I wanted you to know where I am and what I'm doing, and the fact that I am not giving up no matter what, that it's not time yet. Now it will be, that time will come. I don't know when it will be, but it won't be until after I finish whatever it is I need to do, and you are part of that. So, my beloved, beautiful beings, until next time.